So I said the other day I was going to film one of the breathing drills we use. So it's called a 90-90 hip lift. I like this drill for three main reasons. The first one being that when people come into us, they often have inverted breathing patterns. So basically when they're breathing, they're just doing shallow breaths into the chest. There's a few inherent sort of bad things with this, but it basically gets them more and more into a sympathetic state. So the upper lobes of the lungs are sympathetic dominant, so it takes them into that fight or flight nervous system. So it'll overuse things like the scalenes, upper traps, pecs, and lower back as well. So with this, what we should be doing when we breathe is basically the abdominal cavity will relax, diaphragm will contract. What that's going to do is push all the internal organs down, so things like the kidneys, they'll go down, and that'll allow the rib cage space to expand and those lungs to get a big breath of air in. So this will do a few things. It'll help shift us into a parasympathetic state. So that's one of the reasons I use this, just to correct those inverted breathing patterns. The second reason, when people come in, a lot of people have an anterior pelvic tilt, so they're in excessive lumbar extension, really with an inability to control that back to neutral. So when we lift a barbell like a squat or a deadlift, we want to be in a neutral spine. So what this helps us do is just, he's got his feet up on the box. We're going to squeeze onto the box with a little bit of tension into the hamstrings. This will help us just lift into a little bit of a posterior tilt. And then also when he breathes out, it's going to keep this rib cage down. So we're just in that neutral spine. Other reasons that I use this for, one being it teaches people a good amount of intra-abdominal pressure for when they lift a barbell. So basically when he breathes out, it's going to push these hands into the ground and contract all his anterior structures. So we'll just teach him about contracting the diaphragm, pushing all his internal organs down and finding some stability through that lumbar spine. Last reason being, it'll teach him some motor control around controlling that lumbopelvic region. Cool, so I've got Marcus's head elevated. This is just going to put his head into a good position. So when we breathe in through the nose, everything's well aligned and the airways are clear. So we're going to get a nice deep inhalation. So for this drill, he's going to inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth like he's trying to fog up a mirror. So should be quite audible. What we're going to do is squeeze this with about 30% intensity through the adductors, and he's going to squeeze his heels into this box just to take some tension into the hamstrings. Cool? So the last thing he's going to do is with every breath in, he's going to take a slightly larger and larger breath in. So just to expand that rib cage. Cool? So we're going to go 4 reps. So just breathe all the way out, fog up the mirror. That's it. He'll hold no breath in there, some tension into the floor with his hands. Then breathe in, bigger breath in, bigger breath in. That's it. Breathe all the way out. So we're just going to go 2 more. You can see all those rib cages coming up, it's expanding, and you can see everything expanding. We'll just go 1 more. So when he's inhaling, that diaphragm will contract. It's going to push all these internal organs like the kidneys down. This is actually really important for their function as well. So they're actually meant to move 2 to 3 centimeters with each breath. So with someone with inverted breathing patterns, it's just shallow breathing. They're not going to get that movement through the kidneys either.